If you remember my Grandi Note speaker, the Mac 2 review, and you probably saw how much I struggled to find the correct amplifier to drive it not really properly because are very easy speaker to drive, but to get the right amp to have a balanced tonality, especially on upper, mid and vocals. And by the way, I end up to purchase the Mastersound Dueventi that we are going to review today. Beautiful tube amps made in Italy, and was a blind purchase. Don't try this at all. I was really happy to discover that not only was the right amplifier for the Grandi Note Mac 2, but it partnered really well with all the speakers that I test with, despite coming with only 10 watt of power with a Triode modality. Why Mastersound? Why I choose this tube amplifier? Well, I have a friend that it has one of the most beautiful hi-fi store in Italy. It's called AF Merate. His name is Alfredo, probably one of the biggest hi-fi store in Italy, and is so beautiful. By the way, Alfredo, if you are watching, I send you a lot of love, a big hug, because you are really amazing. Yeah, I called him and I asked him, listen, I'm reviewing the Mac 2 and I have a little bit of sibilant problems on vocals and upper mid. Maybe you have an amplifier that could help me, something able to balance a vivid speaker, vivid and open speaker. And he told me, absolutely no problem, I have two tube amps. The first one is an audio research, was a vintage audio research, second hand or something like that, not new. And he told me this could be fine, but probably it could sound a little bit too energetic for the Mac 2. But I have also the Mastersound, is new, the Dueventi, and I think this is the amplifier, the right one for you. So I just trust him, and I told him, hey, send it to me, I will purchase it and I will try it. Of course, I saw it online and I really loved how it's look. I was looking for something vintage like that. I don't have any experience with tube, and I told him, okay, send it. I really would like to try it. So I was really excited. It's arrived in a beautiful box, well packaged, and actually Mastersound I never heard it before, also because they are mainly a producer of tubes, and really I don't have any experience with tubes, so this is my first vacuum tube amplifier. Mastersound is a small medium company based in Vicenza, Arcugnano more precisely. Probably some of you know Sonos Faber, right? I have this beautiful Serafino here, my reference speaker, and also is coming from the same city of Mastersound. Was founded in 1950s by Cesare Sanavio, an electronic engineer that used to work worldwide for hi-fi's company as an output transformer expert. Today Cesare's sons, Luciano and Lorenzo, that is now actually retired, took over the company of the father, expanding this family business and made in Italy passions around the world. Thanks also to the talented new CEO Antonio Ferro. Growing up in Italy, of course, I love to hear made in Italy and handmade. This amplifier is full handmade. It reminds me quality and, of course, good taste. And that's what you got, a premium and good looking tube amps. Output transformers are fully made in-house, one of the outstanding quality and secret of this amplifier and Mastersound company. A careful tube selections is also handmade and performed in the company. Not only integrated amplifier, but also huge selections of power amplifier and preamplifier are in the Mastersound's portfolio. And today we are looking at the Dueventi entry-level integrated amplifier since the Dueventi was discontinued. Retail price is around 4 grand for 4.5, and I completely pay for it, so it's an unbiased review and I'm here to share my opinions with you, my honest opinion with you guys. Weight is around 23 kilograms, so 50 pounds, but the rear located power supply and transformer make it not easy to handle. So when I grab it from here, I have to probably move my hand a little bit where the transformer are, otherwise it will be not really well balanced, so you have to be really careful, but you can easily handle it alone without any problem. Overall constructions is a touch of retro look and premium material like anti-magnetic steel sheet and real wood. I just love this natural vintage feeling, and it sounds how it looks, so really something really interesting. It's also coming with a really sweet remote control, also wood, same finish of the Mastersound amplifier, just 2 knobs for the volume. It has a motorized volumes, not ultra silent, but I'm fine with that. Not one of the most reactive and precise remote control, and I really would like to see also mute buttons, but yeah, not a big deal, but something to be aware of. The Dueventi has 3 stereo RCA input and a Phono moving magnet input. Then we have 1 fixed output and 1 preamp out. Also you will get separate secondary windings for 4 and 8 ohm speaker. And in the end we have the Triode Pentode switch, and I will speak later about it. What about the on-off switch? Well, I didn't find it at the beginning. I had to looking on the instructions manuals, and is located here down under the chassis. Instructions manual that is also saying to not switch between the 2 modalities, so Triode and Pentode, during operations, but always turn it off your amplifier, and I did like that. It's a pure class A amplifier, no negative feedback, single-ended designs that mount 4 EL34 electro harmonics power tubes and 2 ECC 802 pre tubes. Auto bias circuit, so no adjustment needed at all. Also, if in a couple of years you will have to change the tubes. And actually, do you know how long last these tubes? Please let me know in the comments below. During operations I measure some external temperature of 220 degrees. That is something interesting because it's called DueVenti 220, that is Italian meaning 120, and yeah, was nice. So man, why such an expensive amplifier or tube amplifier, right? I had in the past really not a, yeah, probably I will say a bad experience with tube amps, and I say to myself, yeah, if I have to buy one, it must be something that I want it for life. I want something that really I will let it there and use it for many years possible without problem. I want something really quality. So back on the Grandi Note Mark II and the sound quality, the Dueventi helped me to soften a bit high frequencies and smooth any sibilance saturation. The Mark II is really easy to drive, so absolutely I didn't have any problems with the Dueventi, but I tested also with Klipsch and of course with my Serafino for the Klipsch RC4. You will have to wait, the review coming soon. I don't know, because the high end is coming, so it will take a little bit, but in a couple of weeks I will for sure release also this review. And I compared my reference setup that is usually running with the Serafino. Then we have the Macintosh MC312 300 watt out of power. As source I'm using the Cambridge Audio Edge and Q preamp streamer DAC. Lovely, beautiful, it's still there, I love it. And I just replaced basically the Macintosh with the Mastersounds, and yeah, I have to say that I used the Edge and Q, that is high quality DAC, but I also used something more affordable like the Cambridge Audio MX and 10, just to check if with a affordable or entry-level source, it could deliver the same performance. And the stage collapsed a little bit, imaging was okay, but not as precise and big like the Edge and Q. So definitely you will need a good source with this resolving amplifier. By the way, I never thought that 10 watt, just 10 watt of power may let my Serafino sound so big, powerful and dynamic, with an excellent touch and overall refinement level of nuance, above upper mid 30 seconds to none. A consistent reproductions able to recreate a giant and huge sound stage with a solid and natural imaging. One of the most remarkable quality is the ability to locate perfectly with a high level of separations artists and instruments, reproducing music with an extreme level of technicality without giving up high textures or never been emphasized in any frequency range. If you feel that your amplifier is too much open, too much fatigue or bright, well, this is the amplifier for you. You will still have a lot of details without any signs of fatigueness. You will have extensions without brightness. You will have density on mid-range without having forwardness. I also love that it's able to give these harmonic colorations, this richness without touch nothing in timbre, in realism, and letting instruments and vocals sound how they are, natural and realistic. For example, also listening for any track of Norah Jones, she has this voice that is sometimes really dynamic. I found it sometimes pretty aggressive. I don't know if it's coming from the recording, but I had sometimes a lot of problem on this transient. Well, with the Dueventi you will be able to give such a smoothness to this transient, make it really enjoyable, a beautiful pleasure for my ears. Is applying this sort of filters, right? This corrections filter make it everything sounds more beautiful. And I just can't believe that is able to do all this with such a level of transparency, soundstage and imaging. Imaging and separations is extremely good, superb, and is placing instruments inside the soundstage in a really precise way that is more technical and more precise, much more precise compared to my MC312, for example. Mid sound fuller and it doesn't shout, never at you. Sometimes I found it a little bit laid back, and yeah, in some tracks, for example, listening for classic or orchestra, when you have violin, that is, yeah, they definitely could been presenting with a little bit more, in a more energetic way, probably also giving by a bass that is warm, pronounced, round around edges, but able to feel the entire room. Push it at high volumes, I have to say that it lose a little bit of grip and control with the Serafino on the bottom and in Triode. Better in Pentode, the TS is coming with a more firm and controlled bass, but at the same time is not so holographic as Triode. That was in some way more lush, more refined, more delicious and remarkable. So I end up actually to listen in this modality, and I prefer it. Despite having less power, less dynamic, it sounds much better to me. I also test the Phono stage because it has a moving magnet Phono stage, something that in this price range, for me, yeah, I give you my opinions, maybe you'll not agree with this, but I think when you purchase something like that, something that is not affordable, it's pretty expensive, generally you have a better Phono stage, a separate Phono stage at all. So I really don't see the need to place a Phono stage inside such an integrated amplifier, but I understand that if they don't do it, probably there will be someone that is complaining about this, right? By the way, I tested with my setups and I found it a little bit noisy. Here you have an example of the noise. And the noise we know on Phono stage is you can have it as you can't, because I'm sure if you take this amp and you try it in another locations or to your home, it could be that you don't have my problem. But unfortunately I had this problem, so I moved to connect an external Phono stage, and I just received the new hi-fi Phono review also coming, and I have the previous generation, so I'm comparing the two. And for an entry-level Phono, his retail price is around $200 here in Europe, I don't know in US, and is a, let's say, still affordable Phono stage, one of my favorite of all time. I just love it. By the way, connected to the Dueventi, the noise problem just disappeared, and also the performance went to another level. So yeah, you can try the internal one, but if you have the possibility with $200 extra, you can really improve the performance. In the end, Dueventi is the vacuum tubes amplifier that all not expert of tubes, hi-fi lovers like me just would like, I think, at least. Why? Well, many times I read reviews claiming that it's not true that all tube amps are warm and rich compared to solid state, and that is not really correct to assign the word warm and rich to tubes, and probably it's true. And it's true also that I actually wanted something like that. I wanted something that look vintage, that look beautiful, and that sounds warm and rich without giving up a first class sonic and technical performance. This is the tube amps that I really wanted, the tube amps that I was looking for, and I'm really happy and proud to have one of these. From and out is everything. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. As always, hit the like buttons if you enjoyed the video, and take in consideration to subscribe to my channels to support my work, and just let me know in the comments sections below if you have had an experience with Mastersounds, if you have it at home, and please give me some suggestions about this new amplifier. See you.